Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. All right, I'm joined by the 20-time champion, a 2-time world champion, a staple to the Call of Duty scene, Mr. Patrick Price, aka Aches, and I'm joined by another staple to the Call of Duty scene, another world champion, another multi-champion, Mr. Chris Duarte, aka Parasite. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
Good as always.
Hell yeah, man.
I feel like it's been a while since we had a flame, but it's only been a week.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long. When was the last time we did a flank? At the event, right? Or no, we did the tier list. The tier list was the last one we did. So not too long. Chris, how you doing? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. I'm just, I guess, chilling on this break that we got. Unfortunately, it's sad that we have a break, which we shouldn't. But honestly, I've been pretty good. Besides, there's been some like interesting news, obviously with the rosters and stuff like that. So that's always exciting to talk about. But I've been kind of sad, man, for my my challenger friends, man. I'm sure we should probably touch on that.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that for sure.
Because I'm really upset, man. Like I stopped competing this year. And there's just been they've been disrespected, man. I think the CDL and Activision are very out of touch with the challenger scene right now, and it triggered me. But yeah,
I mean, I agree. Obviously, there's just a lot of just bullshit going around in challengers, right? The format is what you're talking about, Chris. You're talking about the format.
Yeah, the champs format.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of people were just like up in arms about it. Doug was super vocal about it. Censor, he was going off making videos about it. All the challengers teams were kind of tweeting about it and kind of. So explain to everybody, Chris, what the problem is, because from my understanding, it just sounds like that a lot of teams in NA are getting screwed because a lot of top teams are just not making it to champs because they're grabbing teams from other regions that might not necessarily deserve the spot.
Yeah, not necessarily that. I think a lot of teams do deserve the spots. I think what the issue is when the whole format was announced, it kind of screwed over some team in particular. But on top of that, the way the format works, for those of you guys that don't know, is there's a global leaderboard of pro points that is not scaled based on regions. So EU, NA, Latin American and Australian points, they are technically equal.
Yeah.
So EU and NA are very much equal in terms of how they earn points, and they can always attend events and stuff like that, especially the top teams. But the issue here lies in that NA is less top heavy because the competition is more spread. There's more competition. Not saying NA is necessarily a better region. I'm saying there's more comp, right?
Yeah.
EU has very great teams, but it's way too top heavy because there's not as many good teams as there are in North America. And the problem with the format is 4 teams auto qualify from the global leaderboard. And being there's way too much competition in NA where the point spread is way too thin, EU takes up 3 of the slots immediately from the top 4 out of only 8 teams that can compete, which leaves 1 NA team guaranteed to qualify currently, which has been the Toronto Academy team with Scrappy, Mohawk, etc.
Right.
Anyways, the rest of the 4 teams are forced to go through qualifiers in their region, and 1 team from each of those regions will qualify to join those 4 teams. So that means there's a total of potentially, most likely, 2 NA teams only going to the Challenger Champs.
Yeah.
There will be 4 EU teams at the current way.
That's crazy.
And there will be 1 Australian and 1 Latin American team. And my issue, and this is where I feel like a lot of us are in this together, is because I don't mind that teams are getting auto-qualified. I don't mind that Latin America gets a shot. I don't mind that Australia gets a shot. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are passionate. They're obviously trying to make a name for themselves.
And talented. There's a lot of talent over there, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent out there. Yeah. It's more so that, there's fucking 8 teams. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, this isn't a league. That's ridiculous.
Bro,
8 teams is way too low.
There's 12 teams in the league.
Yeah, that is insane.
And only 8 teams are going to it, right?
Yeah.
I guess to an extent that makes sense, right? It's only cut out by 4, but even then, that shit's bullshit. Now imagine challengers where you have 4 fucking regions with hundreds of teams trying to play at, and get their names out there.
Yeah.
That shit is just disrespectful as hell to this league. On top of that, I'm not the league, but to the challenger scene. On top of that, there's 200 something K, 300 something K missing in terms of prize pool. Like, they went down that much in prize pool
from last year. Yeah, I saw that too. What is it this year? 700 something, right? 700,000 or some shit.
No idea.
But it definitely got lowered, which is like, it just feels like we're taking steps backwards. You're right. Like
someone said that the and I could be wrong, that the challenger champs prize pool this year is 250K. and that was the same as the Minnesota Rocker homestand series or event in 2020.
Which is the first. That's the first.
That was
event
the first event ever.
Went to in Challengers, yeah. And on top of that, so the other gripe is just in general, the NA scene being the most competitive. I'm not saying they are the best scene because a lot of people like to get this argument. EU's better than NA. Blah blah blah. No, man. Both. In my opinion, these scenes are equally as important as each other. They're the biggest scenes in our ecosystem. They should be treated as equal, in my opinion. But the one issue is the way they're decided. It punishes the most competitive region in North America because we have the most competitive teams. That means, like, for example, right now there's a possibility that let's take a look at the results from the Toronto Challenger Series. Toronto Academy, number one team, auto will all qualify. Let's assume the second best team or the first best team, which was it was Neptune, MG2 Real, Brack, and Major Maniac, but now Clay and Fellow are on the team. Assume they qualify, great. Now, what about the rest of the teams? There's Assault's team, right? There's Pristini's team, Classic than them. Like, there's Doug's team. There's a ton of teams.
There's a lot of teams over there, bro.
Are just not going to get to go.
Yeah.
Their year essentially is over. And then, this is the last issue that I want to talk about, which is mind-blowing me. This Latin American team that qualified for the elite, right, by beating a couple NA teams, including Censor's team, right? They came here and moved here with the dream of, like, playing against the best competition and stuff like that. So they they essentially had to convert their pro points into North American pro points. And over there, since they have less opportunities to get pro points because they don't have
moved here.
Yes, they moved here. And so they qualified for the elite, but they don't even have enough points to even get near qualifying for the qualifier. So they can't even participate in the tournament that is allowed to send one team from North America, and they're considered a North American team now, and they cannot go back to Latin America to compete for their spot.
And they didn't know that prior to moving here.
They didn't know that.
When did they release all this format stuff? Like, just out of thin ice, they say, "Oh, guys, we don't give a fuck. Let's just change. Let's just switch it all up. Let's just throw a fucking curveball on everybody's heads."
They came here to compete against NA, and they can't even participate in the qualifier for champs because of how little pro points they have in North America.
Ridiculous. That's crazy. I mean,
and
Pat,
they can't go back home.
Pat, what do you think about all this shenanigans? What do you think about all this shit?
I'm just not. So you guys are a lot more surprised as me.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not really surprised. I just it's hard to not have a reaction when shit happens like this.
From the get-go, though, the CDL from a pure formatting structure has been horrible across the board, even on the pro side. Like, I'm just not surprised at all. And Chris, I mean, you mentioned like that you're okay with the guaranteed basically region spots. I'm not okay with that at all, to be honest.
I mean, not to the degree it is now, though, Pat. Like, obviously it's 8 teams.
But we tried that. We tried that in BO2. I forget what other years we tried that, where it was like they tried to enforce this like global world event where like we just gifted certain regions spots who just maybe they deserve it, but most likely they don't. And I think like, I don't know, just I think overall, just in my opinion, I'm just not surprised at the direction the CDL goes and how really out of touch that they really are. They have been since the get-go. So yeah, I'm just not surprised. CDL to me has just been horrible across the board.
I think I wanted to bring this up to start the show just because, bro, I feel like the pros need to say something. I know a lot of these people aren't really too worried about challengers.
Yeah,
and stuff
they're
like
not going to care enough,
bro. These people should care. Like, if it wasn't for the challenger scene, some of their teammates wouldn't even be playing along their side right now. Not that the challenger scene is anything to be fucking heralded as like this amazing fucking system. It's terrible. But like, this is the future of our scene. This is literally pushing people away.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to inevitably. I've already said there's a potential challenger out there, like, very soon coming when it comes to Call of Duty, because a lot of people are just opting to play other games. But like, can people with voices start saying something? I get you guys are scared to be fine, but like, do you guys not understand how fucking disrespectful this shit is? I mean, to a lot of people that put in hours and hours. It's just going backwards.
I wanted to bring this up because this actually came up the other day in a convo that I was having. So this dates back to 2020. Do you guys remember how in the beginning of the CDL there was those guaranteed matchups, right? Like they were already predetermined, like how many teams.
Everybody played everybody twice. I thought, wasn't that how it worked? Everybody played everybody twice.
But there was a lot of or not a lot. There was a few anomalies where I have it here. I made a tweet, right, and I said the Chicago Huntsmen and the Atlanta FaZe like never play each other. They're like the biggest brands and most likely the best teams, and they literally never play each other.
Right.
And I made a tweet. It was a tweet longer, and I'm looking at the email where I got a violation of Call of Duty official league rules, and a fine from the VP of league admin at the time. But it was a CDL discipline letter because I literally called out their format for how the fact that the Huntsmen and FaZe literally don't play each other.
Yeah.
Like when all these other teams, like I forgot who made it. Somebody made like a line graph of showing like how.
You got fined for that?
Yeah.
What the
bro.
fuck?
This was before the league even started, bro.
That's crazy.
To me, Chris, I just think like they've got it in a way that it's just like it's set up so sad where like they just want to keep how honestly how poor of a job they're doing as quiet as possible. So
no, it just seems like we just go backwards every year. And bro, I saw somebody on here say there's a crybaby flank. Bro, shut the fuck up. Do you not realize that this is people's jobs and dreams that they are trying to pursue?
Well, I mean,
and the team keeps going backwards. Like, do you really think we should just sit here and say nothing?
Bro, that's the people that want to sit there and twiddle their thumbs and say nothing are fucking pussies, bro. They're just pussies. They want to sit there. There's no you can't. There'll never be any change unless there's people vocal about it. If anything, it's a good thing we're on the show talking about this shit because nothing will ever change if nobody uses their platform to talk about it. You know, so fuck that guy. You know, that guy's just a moron. He doesn't understand it.
Listen, man, you're fucking banned. Get out of this fucking chat.
Just ban him. Just ban him. It's all right.
Get him out of here.
Listen, get a real job. What's crazy?
This is a real fucking job.
It is a real job.
You.
Yeah, it is
Even
a real
this
job.
Is a job.
Well, not. This is a job. Everything's a job. But I mean, the gaming especially is a fucking job. I mean, competing at the top level, you know, every single day, you know, it's not easy. There's a reason why there's a lot of money in this shit. You know, it's a lot of hard work, bro. It's a lot of work, and it's very, very difficult to get into that 0.0001% of players who are at the top, playing at the highest level, making a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I just get very passionate about this stuff, Tom. Like it's like I was doing this shit like last year, right? I was playing in challengers. I was doing this shit partially this year. I see the effort that a lot of these people put into in trying to make their dreams a reality, right? And a lot of these people I feel like do deserve to have opportunities and stuff like that. It's a shame there's no expansion. There's all these other things, right? But like to see the CDL go backwards and then disrespect these players that are putting in the effort on top of people that are watching and stuff like that, that should be in favor of like improving the systems and conditions that some of these players are playing, because these are the challenger scene is the future of our esport to a degree, right? Like,
I mean, especially coming from somebody in the chat, right? You would think that people in the chat would love this because I'm sure there's people in the chat that want to make it to the next level. I'm sure there's people that want to see a career in gaming that love competing. We can't be the only ones here that want to see change and want to see what's better for the community and want to see some of these amateur players get the best shot possible to prove themselves and make a name for themselves. I mean, we're just trying to make the system better. So ignore that guy. But listen, let's talk about some of the roster changes, man. You know, there's a few problems going down. I know. Oh, one more thing about the challenges. Apparently, Doug made a fucking petition or something. This guy made a petition, which I like. He went online. He started a petition. He's trying to make some change. I know Doug was another one who was being a crybaby in all quotes on Twitter and was being very vocal about trying to see some change. So if you guys want to go check out some of that stuff, you want to sign a petition, go sign a petition, man. But let's talk about the roster changes, bro. Let's start with LAG. So they made some changes. They're gonna move Asim to the bench. They're gonna move Big P to the bench. I'm not really too sure what they're doing with Gunless, but Asim's gonna be on the bench for sure. And they're bringing in Neptune and they're bringing Spark back in from their major. What did they win? Major 2 or Major 3? Major 2. Major 2 champion Spark, right? They end up moving Asim to the bench. They bring Spark back in with Neptune. It's gonna be Slasher, Spark, Neptune, and Hook as the squad for the Los Angeles Gorillas. And at first, I just want to hear your guys' opinion on the roster. Do you guys think that it's a good roster? What do you guys think?
We'll see you fucking next year, LAG.
Oh,
we'll see you next year.
You don't like the roster, Pat? You don't like it? Talk to me.
I don't mind benching Asim and Gunless. Okay, I don't mind it.
You made that very clear from the beginning. I personally disagrry with it, but
hold on, but not for Neptune and Spart. Like that like I want to say that's lateral, but to me that's potentially even worse. And granted, Asim and Gunless aren't playing as good as they could be right now, but like that move just it fixes nothing. Like
I agree. I agree.
I don't know if honestly I don't know. I don't know whose decision this was, where this came from. I don't think to me this doesn't feel like a slasher decision. So I honestly I have no idea, but yeah, I think this is a horrible move. You know, who knows how it'll go down, but I mean I could see them easily not qualifying now. I know they were already kind of on the cusp of that top 8 spot, but yeah,
well, Slasher's got to be involved. Anybody who's still on the team was involved in this decision, including the coach. They got to be.
Yeah.
There's involved, and there's involved to what extent? That's kind of what I was.
To an extent, right? But if Slasher just straight up said no, I'm not doing this, they're not going to do it. And that's that. It's just if Slasher says no, I don't. Unless they got him by the balls like that. I mean, it's not like it's not like it is like it used to be, right? Like I feel like as years go on, players are having less and less power, which is probably a good thing and maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. It depends how you look at it. But the coaching staff definitely.
It depends on who's running the team.
Right, depends. Every team is different. It's definitely situational. I thought Slasher was one of those people who had that kind of power. I thought he had a lot of say in the roster, but it's got to come down to the coaching staff as well and the GM.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's got to.
I think I was going to say, Tom. I think my issue with the whole change is we've seen Spart's potential, although it was with the Volk and stuff like that. But we've seen him play to an MVP potential, regardless of the weapon. He had that potential, right? Mm-hmm. Neptune this year has shown us nothing, at least in the Pro League, right? So while Asim, on the other hand, has shown us MVP level performances at the major, even prior to like Major 2, he was playing really well. Mm-hmm. So from a potential standpoint from this year, I've seen it from Asim. I've seen it from Spart. We have not seen it from Neptune, and that's what worries me. But I'm not ignorant.
Major 2, we didn't see it from Spart. We only
that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying we've seen it. But my point is,
Volk, though, I don't know.
I know, bro. I said that, but my point is that I've seen it from both of these people, but I haven't seen it from Neptune, and that's what worries me. But I'm not going to be ignorant to say that this guy isn't going to be better, because we all know that sometimes your performances are just a product of your environment, and he might end up doing a lot better on a different team. But that's just something that we'll just have to wait and see. But from just looking at it, I feel bad for Asim, because I do think he probably wasn't the issue in terms of why they were playing well or playing well, or why they weren't playing well. Mm-hmm. And I think my whole thing is we have to see more out of Hook. Like, Hook is a superstar player.
The whole team. I mean, people keep talking about Asim, about him being inconsistent. My bad, Chris. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But people keep talking about Asim being inconsistent. Bro, the whole team has been severely underperforming since the major. The whole team. And no, not because Asim's a good buddy of mine, but he's going to struggle the most. We've seen it with Shotzzy, right, on Optic. Like, we've seen it with Abizi. Any main sub player that if the team's not working well in that time, and LAG was just not working well for weeks at a time, like the main sub's going to take a big hit.
Not only just since the major, this team was inconsistent before the major.
Yeah, they were inconsistent before the major.
Roster.
They were.
Even dating back
but
to
who was their best player? Major 1, Major 2, and at the major they won, who was their best player the whole first half of the year, Pat?
I thought it was Asim. I said it was Asim in the beginning.
Asim was their best player.
I think Pierce was statistically their best player, but I think Asim was like their
most impactful. He's their most impactful player. Like that's where my confusion. Go ahead, Pat.
I do agree. He kind of his fall off was drastic just because of the role he plays in that team, right? The kind of like when he's on, like he's winning them games, so to speak. So
it was just and listen,
he was also. Go ahead, Tom.
I was just gonna say, and I'm not like disagreeing with LAG making a team change. I like the fact that they're making a change because they needed a change. Like they needed a change for their team. It just feels like they turned the lights off and they threw the dartboard with the fucking lights off. It just seems like they didn't really put a thought process into it. And listen, they might hit a bullseye. Who knows? Neptune and Hook might be the fucking 2 Halo guys coming out just world starring people. But I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
After Major 2, they came back. They had Spart for like like 4 or 5 weeks. So that they have their exact same roster right now, except for Neptune, or except Asim for Neptune. So what do they think this is gonna? And they were horrible, by the way. They after Major 2, they came back and they were terrible across the board. What do they think swapping in Neptune for Asim is gonna fix?
I don't know.
To me, that's what I'm looking at this. I'm not even considering the Spart for Gunless thing, right? Because like Gunless just came back. Spart was already on this team after Major 2 for like 6 weeks. What does Neptune for Asim fix on this team at all? Anywhere, any mode? What does
I'm
he
telling
fix?
you, they are doing
He was horrible. Neptune was horrible.
They are doing Asim dirty, and this is why. Hook is a superstar player, and I get it. He should, in my opinion, just be performing a lot better. Like we've seen players like Hydra, for example, still manage to put up, good statistics, very good statistics, even when their second sub player was like lacking, and they made that change. I think Hook needs to step up. Period. But on top of that, they're hoeing my guy Asim. Do you not remember how many Gavutus these guys played? Guess who was using the ARs? Gunless, Hook, and fucking Slasher. Guess who was using a sub? They had Asim on the sub, just getting fucking torched.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, Slasher outside of the major, and same with Gunless, weren't like doing anything special. No offense to my boys, but they weren't like slaying, and that's like the job with the ARs in this game. I think you're a damage dealer. I think the ARs in this game, like besides like what Bokage, they put up damage, they put up kills and stuff like that. They create space for their SMG players, right? Mm-hmm. If you're not doing that like properly, you're just going to get fried as an entry sub, bro. You're going to get mowed down. And how many fucking Gavutus were they playing, Pat? You remember every series we're like, yo, stop playing this fucking map. And the one time.
Well, yeah, because they were 0-50 on it.
Yeah, the one time they started playing other maps, like Hook and Asim actually had a good series or good statistics. But my point is like, bro, I think Asim Asim performing bad was probably more so a product of his environment at the time. And I think if anything, we're not sure how Neptune's going to perform, but I still think Hook needs to just be a star.
I mean, bro, I talk about this all the time. But Pat, I talk about this all the time though. Like your environment is so perfect. Look what happened to Neptune in the beginning of the year. First of all, New York. Who did New York drop Asim for? Neptune. Now LAG's doing the same thing. They're dropping Asim for Neptune. So Neptune's coming in and taking Asim's spot twice now. And when Neptune went to New York, it all fell apart for him. The environment that he was in, it just ruined him. He couldn't play in that environment. And the same thing goes for Asim when it was on LAG. Once it gets to a point where the environment's just not good, everybody's gonna take a big hit. Everybody. And
but my question is like, look at how affected, right? We'll say Neptune was in the NYSL camp. What is him coming into? I would argue a possibly even worse situation gonna do. Like if you just look at this roster, like take out who else needs to step up. Take that away. Don't even consider that. Mm-hmm. Like just assume Hook or Slasher, they get better. What on just a basic level, what does Neptune for Asim change? Anywhere, any mode, anything. What does it change? To me, it changes nothing.
Not much.
I would argue it's a negative change. Like, because I trust Asim to make the right play 10 times more than I trust Neptune to make the right play.
But Neptune also did have a little stint in Challengers where he looked really good.
He's good. Neptune's a good player.
Granted, it's Challengers. I think at least from I think some people, they have like a realization when they go into Challengers and they start kind of like, you start playing more just by the nature of Challengers, right? You have tournaments every day, you scrim like every single day, like you're just playing more COD. Where like I do think that he could have got better, and maybe with the more healthy environment for him that he likes a lot more, especially because he's teaming with Spart, which is one of his boys, and Hook, which I know he definitely has a good relationship there. He might, play really, really well, but it's just it's an unknown for me, man. It's literally an unknown for me.
Yeah, bro, he had like one series after they dropped Clay that he played really well in the New York Subliners, and then it was back to the mean where he was just horrible. He could not get in any engagements on the map. He was like, I don't know if he was like leading the league in like least engagements as a sub, but he was up there. So like, I don't know. Austin, we'll see you in Cancun.
Yeah, well, listen, it's what I said.
I don't know.
It's what I said. We'll see you in Cancun, right? They're taking a shot, right? They're throwing the dart in the dark at the dartboard, and it might work, it might not. Who knows? Like, I feel like at this point, they just tried to mix things up and just see what the fuck happens. But LAG made the decision, or not LAG, ASIM made the decision to sit on the sidelines with LAG instead of going somewhere else. Kind of want to hear your thoughts about that. And listen, before I go any further, a lot of people are saying ASIM this, ASIM that is only here because he's my friend and this and that. If anybody says that ASIM's only here because they're the friend and this and that, then you already lost the argument. You already lost. When I picked up ASIM back in the day, I didn't know the kid. I didn't know ASIM. When I took a shot on him, when I thought he was a good player, I didn't know the guy. It's not my fault that I think very highly of the guy. I think he was their most impactful player, whether he's my friend or not. I think Major 1, Major 2, Pat even just said it. First half of the year, he thought ASIM was the best player on the team. Haggy was just saying it. Thought ASIM was a great player. I'm so sick and tired of people trying to just spread all this nonsense about friend this, friend that, friend this. Shut the fuck up. It has nothing to do with that. How many times have I came on the show when ASIM wasn't performing and I got to say, oh, ASIM's inconsistent. ASIM's not performing well. ASIM's not looking like himself right now. He's not doing this. But nobody wants to talk about when I have to talk down on friends. Nobody wants to talk about it. Every time I have to say something negative about a friend or talk about somebody negative in the scene, I'm friends with everybody in the scene. I always got to say negative about people that I'm close to or people I know. But when it comes to saying positive things, everybody's all up in arms. Friends this, friends that. It's like, bro, that whole gimmick needs to get thrown out the motherfucking window. It has
that argument also expired like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it expired. I don't understand. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I've seen it numerous times in this chat. I've seen it numerous times on Twitter and socials and Reddit and this and that. And it's just ridiculous. That whole narrative needs to stop. And if anybody says this, though, you're just a moron. I don't know what to tell you. Your opinion's terrible. Your opinion is absolutely terrible. And there's just nothing else I can say about that. ASIM, he decided to stay with LAG instead of going off to, I guess the rumor was Florida, right? I guess Florida was interested in him. Chrome dropped the bomb, right? That they were looking at Florida. Vivid's going to the bench. What do you guys think about all this shenanigans? Florida now making some changes.
I got to go unlock the door for my roommate because he locked himself.
You good, bro? You good? We'll start with you, Pat. This whole Florida shenanigans is nuts.
Florida aside, I think ASIM's really messing up here. And the reason I say that is because, you know, him staying on LAG for the next whatever amount of 2 months, I think, right? Like, assuming he doesn't get back into the team, which I don't think he will. I think regardless of how they play in the qualifiers, I don't think they're going to just bring him back in for the major. And I believe, Tom, I could be wrong, the NYSL like roster lock or whatever for champs, like that's where you kind of just set your team in. I don't think he gets back on the team for the rest of the season. So him deciding to just stick on the roster and ride the bench for the next 2 months, I think is dumb. And the reason I think it's dumb is because when it comes to the offseason, like, LAG is going to take any and every opportunity to improve that they can. And the moment that they see a better future without ASIM, he's gone, right? Like, he's off the team. He might get a sub spot, which I don't think that's what he wants. So even if his goal is to stay on the roster, so he'll have a contract for a sub spot, to me that logic is still dumb because I don't think that's what he wants anyway. And I think he deserves a spot in the league. But so that's one, staying on LAG, and two, not going to Florida is a huge misstep here because I truly believe, especially when we're looking at the roster changes that Florida is making, I don't necessarily agree with Vivid being gone, but that aside, I think Skies and Awakening are way better than Huke and Slasher right now. Like, from what we've seen out of those two on especially on LAN, like, I'm teaming with Skies and Awakening in Vanguard over Slasher and Huke right now, for sure. 10 out of 10 times. And so I think, with Florida dropping Dave Patty, to me, that's the green light for anybody to want to go to Florida. And I think ASIM really could have helped that team because we were kind of talking about like what could really help Florida, and I think it's a sub player who's going to play like ASIM, right? Aside from them dropping Vivid, because I think this team could work with Vivid.
Which shocked me too. Did not expect that.
Vivid, ASIM, Skies and Awake could be a really good team. I would honestly, like, that team. I think is going to make champs and make it over LAG and place better than LAG would in both this qualifier and the NYSL major. So, I think ASIM's messing up here. I think he's putting too much like loyalty into this decision. If it was a possible thing to where he could go to Florida, I think he should have jumped right on it, because him going to that Florida roster, they get way better, and I think they're better than that new LAG form squad. So a bit of a misstep in my opinion, and obviously we'll see how it turns out. But I think the loyalty aspect, like especially in the nature of the league right now, is just you cannot put any weight in like an org doing right by you. You just can't. We've seen it across the board. No org is done right by any player since the start of the CDL. So him, putting that loyalty into that decision and hoping that the organization does right by him is just a bad move.
I don't trust a single,
not just ASIM. That goes for
100%.
anybody.
I don't trust a single organization to quote unquote do right by their players besides Optic or Thieves, just because they're run by players that or people that like have been involved in the scene for a long time. And they're very respectable to their players, and like obviously Nadeshot also used to be a player from like Thieves. I wouldn't trust a single. Oh, and FaZe as well. I think those organizations would definitely do right by their players, but I think every other organization has literally proved to me that it's literally a fucking free for all out there.
Well, I mean, I definitely think now we're in a franchise league. There's a lot more money involved, and all these teams, they're businesses at the end of the day. They want to. It's all about money for them. It's all about making a profit and building a brand, and it's very cutthroat now. Like they're not all nicey nice, which I guess that's just how it is.
Chris, Thieves. You said Thieves. Austin literally got dropped from Thieves this year. Like this year.
I don't think any team is like safe in that regard. I don't think I think any team can fuck you at any time. I just think that's how it is.
We can say FaZe and Optic, but the reason we say that is because they have the best players. Like everyone wants to go there, no one wants to leave. So like they're always going to recruit the best talent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, dude, I think literally every team will fuck you over the minute they need to, period. Every single team.
Well, what do you think, Chris? Do you think ASIM made a good decision staying with LAG, riding the bench, hopefully getting back on the team? And if he doesn't, I guess he just rides out the rest of the year and tries to get on a team for next year. Or would you rather see him dip out and go somewhere else?
I would have much rather seen him dip out, because I think when it comes to like the way teams are playing currently in this year, like Pat said, there's just more potential in Florida. And also he'd be relatively in a very similar spot. So he might even, imagine he made champs and overtook his team, like his prior team. That'd be like a really good story. But in my opinion, I think he didn't. I think he would have lost nothing. Besides,
I think he would have gained everything. I think he would have locked in a spot on the Florida roster next year. I really do.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm worried about, or that I might have been worried about, is maybe like I've heard rumors that Florida isn't like one of the highest paying teams, and we already know LAG have got cash. So like maybe he's just getting a better deal on LA, and if he went to Florida, he'd be losing out.
2 months? Who cares?
Listen, man, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just speculating.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, I don't think it was a good idea. I think he should be playing, especially with recency bias. We all know how that is. When it comes to next year, like people's opinions of him might be, bad in terms of him as a player. He might not have that time to, to make up for that.
I personally disagree. I think his stock is fine right now. I think people think he's. You're saying at the end of the year, you think people might turn away.
There might be some recency bias, man. Where like you played bad, and we haven't seen you play in a while.
Fine? But what do you think that means?
I don't think his stock is where he wants it to be. I mean, definitely not. He just got put to the bench.
Do you think he gets back on LAG next season? To me, that's a 0%.
I could see him getting back on LAG this season. If they go into these next 2-3 weeks getting shit on, they might want to switch it up a little bit.
The reason I don't think so is because they played out an entire thing with Spart. Like almost the entire thing with Spart.
Yeah.
Like an entire month.
Well, maybe not. I mean, I have no idea. For me though, like I definitely think, especially talking to some people behind the scenes, like other pros and stuff, like people think very highly of ASIM. I was talking to the Optic guys yesterday, like Ant and Seth. They were a little surprised. They thought ASIM was a really important piece of that team. Talking to some of the FaZe guys behind the scene, we saw Alec tweet at LAG when they released the team, and they said something. Even the FaZe guys were a little confused about it. Like people don't like playing against ASIM. They think he's a good player when you play against him.
But the issue lies in he's just not going to be playing for a bit. Right?
Yeah, might dwindle for sure.
Other people are going to have their time to kind of shine, and maybe show what they have. And then even like, you got to look at the challenger scene, right? Like all these people are trying to make a name for themselves. Recency bias, man. If people haven't seen him play for a bit and he didn't play the best, and other people are like, shining into some degree, that might hurt him.
Yeah, and the thing is too, it's like it's a risk no matter what he does. He's gonna have a risk. He can either sit in the bench in LAG and wait out and see if he can get on a team or get on the starting roster. That's a risk in itself. Or you go to Florida, like you said, he'll probably take a massive pay cut. Take a risk into going. It
wouldn't be massive though, Tom. There's only 2 months left in his contract. Like the amount of money that he would lose out on it is so insignificant at this point. He's already gotten paid. 10 months of that?
Yeah, but we don't know his situation.
But if he goes to Florida, what if Florida says you can only join this team if you sign this 1+1, and the 1+1 is just absolute fugazi balls? It's just a pile of nothing.
I think he's. I think
you know what I'm saying.
Smarter than that. I think he's got higher stock where even if he does sign a 1+1, he signs a 1+1 that has a set amount this year and then a renegotiation period for that next one.
But that renegotiation period, Pat, you know that renegotiation period, that whole 1+1, right? That second year in the 1+1 means jack shit.
Yeah.
You can get $100K first year, a $1 million second year, bro. This happened with the Twins. It happened with Maddie and Will. They signed this crazy contract. They got nothing the second year.
He has way more leverage right now to get on that roster in terms of like making something suitable for him. Because, dude, especially if you scrim with them, I'd imagine they love playing with him and want him on the team. So I don't know. I think long term.
You guys are worried about his stock. That's what you guys are worried about. His stock.
I'm not worried about his stock. I'm worried about the fact that I don't think he'll get back on LAG, period, even next year. And even if he does, it's a sub spot. Have we ever seen someone getting benched like throughout a year and then starting on the same team a following year? Have we ever seen that? I don't think we ever have.
No. Not that I can think of.
So, and I don't think that would happen. I don't think that would happen in this case either. So, my reason I think that is just that he's in a position where he could go to Florida, join a better team, and perform better this year, and lock in a spot. Even if the pay is obviously the pay is gonna be different, right? Florida's not gonna pay you what LAG will, but he'll be on a team. Like I feel like he would almost guarantee being on a team where he won't on this LAG situation.
He's gambling. He's gambling by staying on the team.
He could be in challengers next year, staying on LAG right now.
Yeah,
that's like a real outcome. But if he goes to Florida, I think he's for sure on Florida going in next year.
Yeah, I agree with you in that sense. But like he's just gambling way too hard.
Well,
right
I think
now.
a lot of it too, if he went to Florida, would be performance based too. How they do, right? Like how does the team do going into it?
Dude, they don't have Dave Patty. They're gonna be solid, bro.
Damn, bro, Dave Patty always catching strays. But I just thought even with the Florida thing, just getting rid of Vivid was a little weird. Like
that made no sense to me.
I just didn't think Vivid was. I was gonna say Dave Patty out, right? Like get him out because of a pacing problem. Get another sub player to come push up with Vivid, and then you can have Big Wake who just does whatever. Wake can run a sub, he can run an AR, he can run anything.
Alex Rubin's in the chat. He works with like the LA organization, like the with like the Gorillas and stuff like that. And he's saying that we're talking some bullshit. Bro, we are literally only talking about stuff that
Of course he's going to say that. What else he's going to say?
But on top of that,
we made a great decision.
But on top of that, we only can talk about what the fuck we know. If we don't know, like...
Yeah, and one thing, and Dan did make a good point, right? Looney's in the chat. Shout out to Dan. He made a good point about Asim as well. Like in his tweet longer, he mentioned personal reasons and family issues. I mean, we don't know. We don't know what somebody's actually going through and what's being put on the table in front of them and what the situation actually is, unless they come out and talk about it.
That's why I told Pat, like, if it's a salary thing, like I told you, like, yeah, he might not be losing much in terms of numbers, but like, what if he needs that, right? What if like if it's important maybe for his family or something like that or something personal? Like we don't know. We're just speculating. But,
yeah, we're speculating, and there's people in the chat talking about money instead of chips and this and that. But bro, you can't judge somebody when you don't know anything about them or anything about what's going on in their life, right? People have their own struggles and people got their own shit that's going on. So, obviously it's Asim's personal life, so he could talk about it if he wants to. But, nobody actually knows what's going on unless, behind closed doors. Especially this contract talk can get really, really mixy, man. You guys have been a part of the scene. I've been a part of the scene. Sometimes contracts can just get like really, like there could be so many little things in a contract that just steers you away from it, or you just get a bad, like a bad view on it. You just get like a bad thought about it. I don't know. Maybe he has second doubts. I couldn't even tell you, right? At the end of the day, it's Asim's decision. The decision was that he was going to stay and ride it out for LAG, and it's a risk. I think it's a risk. We'll see how it plays out for him. He'll either get back on the team or he'll ride it the rest of the year and hopefully get on a team for next year. If not, he's going to end up in challengers, like Pat said.
Hold on.
It is what it is.
Enough about Asim because I feel like we're kind of dragging this.
Yeah, let's talk about Vivid. What the fuck is Florida thinking?
Let's talk about.
No sense.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I think the Florida team had a clear issue, and we like at least who I thought the clear issue was. I don't think in any world Vivid was the problem on this team, and I think Vivid was another player who, in a perception, right, that he's gonna look worse on that team when that environment was what it was. So, dude, like that. The one thing I would say is like I would love to have seen Asim on this Florida team with Vivid. Like that would
that would have been a good team.
I would have really liked to see that roster and see how they play. But I think the rumor that Chrome Tree was like Major Maniac.
Yep. So apparently the team
is another AR.
Yeah, they just got another AR, and I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah,
they have Dave Pat, and let me also say something. Like I love Mike, I love Dave. They're good players, but they're both more on the slower side. Even Mike was another one who was like had like low interactions and was more of like a methodical type player. Mike is one of those guys, man, where you just want on your team because of just attitude reasons and fundamentals, and he just gets gritty. Like Mike's a really, really good player. I love Major Maniac as a player. I just don't know if that's what they need. I don't know if that's the fit for Florida.
So are they keeping Are they keeping Vivid, like rumored? Keeping Vivid now because apparently there was like a rumor with Asim and that fall through.
But here's the way I was thinking about it. Like a lot of people were like, if you're Vivid, don't go back now, this and that. Their whole thing fell through this. I don't think they want Vivid. They were already throwing him to the bench to begin with and looking elsewhere. I don't think they're just, if they can't get the person they wanted, I don't think they're just gonna be like, hey Vivid, you want to come back? I think they're gonna try and get somebody else. I think they're gonna look elsewhere. And they have Yeez. They have Yeez on the bench.
Yeah, from a performance standpoint though, like I think Vivid would have thrived in a better environment, at least statistically. We've always known he's probably been the most aggressive player in the league for 2 years now. But at the same time, maybe they're trying to get rid of him for other reasons. Maybe he's just like not a good teammate or something like that.
Right.
So we don't know if that's the case. But if it's from a pure performance standpoint, I kind of feel bad for him because I think he probably would have thrived with another SMG player at his side. Major Maniac, do I think that's what they need? Not necessarily, but I think it's probably it's definitely an upgrade from Dave. I think even though they have very similar play styles, I think Major Maniac is very vocal and stuff like that as well. And I think he probably understands the game better than like Dave did. So, I mean, I like that they upgraded. I don't know if that's going to be enough for them to go further.
My concern is what's with them wanting another AR. Like, what is with Florida's obsession?
Well, here's the thing:
and having so many fucking ARs.
Here's the thing, Pat. Yeah, we know Awakening is very good with an AR. We've said that they have too many ARs, but I think Awakening at this point has proved himself with a sub. I even see Skies pulling it out on some maps and prove himself that he can also run a sub if they need one. So I don't necessarily think that
problem.
I don't necessarily think that might be the most important issue for them. I just think that they needed somebody that knew what the fuck was going on because, bro, the pace Dave was playing at, regardless of what the fuck weapons they are using, was clearly holding them back. Like, regardless of what weapons, Skies, Awakening, whatever we're using, because it didn't matter. They still all slayed out. They still all did what they needed to do. And still had relatively close series most of the time, especially on LAN. I just think Dave was a clear fucking outlier on this team. And I do think Major Maniac is an upgrade. I don't know if that's what they need. And now I'm also worried about how the team chemistry is going to be with the whole Vivid situation. Cause I don't know. I think
there's no way they play. I don't think they're going to play with Vivid. Once you tell Vivid, hey bro, you're getting kicked to the sideline. We're looking at other people. It's already done. It's done. You can't bring him back in now.
I would agree with that.
They're gonna look at if they can't get Asim and they don't want to play with Yeez, who's another aggressive sub that's sitting on their bench. They're gonna go to challengers and they're gonna pick out of the scraps and challengers.
Someone in chat said Vivid already flew home too. So
He's
yeah,
out of there. Vivid's fucking out. He's out of there. He
fuck.
wants nothing to do with them. Trust. And Chris, you made a good point. Well, maybe it's not a performance thing. Maybe he wasn't calming in a game. Maybe he was a fucking head case. Maybe he was yelling. These are all stuff that we don't know.
Even
you
if
know?
even if that is the case, in a league where SMG talent is so
Like,
like
deal with it. Just deal with it.
Is so small, bro. Yeah, you gotta because
Deal with
like,
it, yeah.
dude, you're not gonna find like a good replacement, especially not in 2 months, bro. Like players have been or teams have been trying to get subs for I don't know how long. There's just none out there, right? That unless you're taking a risk on your bench.
Bro, they
players,
could have shot
which,
themselves
Chris,
in the foot so hard,
we haven't
bro.
seen. There's no Pentagram getting play time. There's no Yeez getting play
What
time.
the fuck is the point of substitutes? They don't. Half the teams don't even use them. It's like a filler
yeah.
spot. People are just picking them up because
That's
they
what it
have
is.
to.
Charity work, bro.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta
just
think
like.
that is the fact. They literally have to.
Whoa. Intel tweet.
Theo,
Oh,
until we got
Intel.
breaking news in the
is
middle
that
of the
why Clay-
flanking.
Is that why Clay
breaking
tweeted?
news.
Clay tweeted, "Life is a horror movie."
Yeah,
today?
let's read this one out.
All right,
Sources.
go ahead, Chris.
Too Real is now being looked at by @Muniers with Asim and Neptune now out of the picture. Too Real currently plays with Clayster, Fellow, and Brack, and recently won the Toronto Open with Major Maniac, Neptune, and Brack.
Is he a sub?
Wow,
I don't know if
Too
he's a sub guy.
Real.
He's a sub
Wow,
player.
they picking up one of the stallions or a former stallion.
A former stallion.
A former stallion that we dropped.
You want blows my mind, and I'm happy for the guy. Don't get me wrong.
Too Real's
I
good.
love seeing people get opportunities, but this goes to me like being a former challenger competitor. I'm familiar with this guy because I've seen him compete.
He's good, bro.
All this tells me is you just need one good year, bro. You need one good year.
Not even
one
year.
Good,
You just need your last event, bro.
You need a good couple of months, and you can get picked up in the league.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
actually
Bro,
nuts
of
to me.
course.
you just gotta
course.
win the last challenger event. Look at Scrappy, right? Scrappy instantly won an event and although I don't think he should have signed to the Ultra, and we kind of see that now, but instantly won, got signed, bro. You just gotta win the last challenger event. No bullshit.
Yeah.
'Cause think about it. Major Maniac won. He won. Neptune won. They're right back.
Bro, getting picked out of challengers is no bullshit. All timing. Like if you look good at a very specific window in time,
Yeah,
people are just gonna
that's a
take
good
chances
point.
on
That's
you.
a good point.
It's
Like
actually
if
nuts.
a team needs a change, they'll look at challenges, see what's going on, boom.
Yeah, 'cause, like,
Especially people who don't pay attention to challenges or have any idea what's going on over there.
I'm not trying to throw shade at the guy, but like last year I played against him and like he was pretty good, but he wasn't anything special. But this year he looks really good, and I'm not trying to throw shade at him. Like I said, I think this
I mean, he
year
coulda got
and
better.
everything that
He
I've
coulda just
watched,
gotten better.
He looks really good. Like
Yeah.
I watched him play with Clay, and he was calming really well. He was doing a lot of the dirty work. He was getting mixy. So good for him if this is true. I like it. If he,
I don't like it more
keep,
than Vivid though.
I don't
So
like it
why
more
are we
than Vivid.
chopping Vivid.
I don't like it more than Vivid, but like, bro, Vivid already left, bro. That shit,
Bro, yeah,
that
no,
shit
he's
didn't
home.
sail, bro.
Vivid's
That shit-
home.
That shit didn't fucking sail. That shit fucking sunk.
Yeah,
It's
it's shit. It's in the middle of the
water,
ocean.
bro.
That shit's at the
It's
bottom of the ocean,
gone.
bro. I don't know.
Holy
But
shit.
hey, and that's another one now. Right now, you have Vivid, he's going to be looking for maybe other potential rosters. Maybe he can shake some things up somewhere else, or he'll go to challengers. And speaking of shake some things somewhere else, before we move on, what do you guys think about the whole roster in general? Major Maniac, Skies, Awakening, and Too Real. I mean, what do you think about that roster? W or L, chat? What do you guys
just
think?
new.
W or
We'll
L?
see.
What do you guys think of the chat?
I mean, like,
Microphone muted.
no offense to Dave, bro. Like, I'm just glad that he's not on this team. No, not for his sake, but I think this is a W. Like that, he was just playing terrible, bro. Like, there's no way around it. There's no way around it. Oh my God, Sib MDL in chat. Too Real is ass.
He said that. That's Seattle Surge's very own Sib talking some shit early to the newcomer. So
And no, I'm not fucking exaggerating. You want to hear exaggerating? Dave having fucking 7 or 30 less engagements than his entire team. Oh wait, that was an exaggeration. That was fucking true.
it was true every
Skies-
week too. I just think eventually it happened so
Every
much.
fucking match.
It just happened so much where you just couldn't defend him. You know.
If Skies and Awakening can play at the same level they were playing at when they had Vivid and Dave, I think it's a dub. I think if they keep that level of performance up, like even if you get just a little bit more right out of your your fourth, I think this is a dub, but I am interested to see how this team plays without Vivid, because I think Vivid brought something to all teams he plays for, right? That honestly, like, is very rare in this league, but just an SMG that is just nonstop aggression regardless of their stat line, right? Like, and I think that kind of helped, especially knowing that like this team was more slow. So we're gonna have to see that, if Too Real can feel that pace. But I think Major Maniac over Dave Patty is a for sure dub.
Honestly, I'm pretty happy to see this though, Tom. This is bro, to me, this is basically a whole new roster. We're gonna see a whole new, same with the LAG team.
New Florida.
They're two whole new teams.
Yep. LAG is way different. Florida's way different.
LAG is not a whole new team.
Well, in terms on paper,
you're right. You're right. They had
major
Spark.
two team
You're right.
with Neptune instead of ASIM.
No, you're right. You're right.
Nothing.
You're right.
To me, they're still the same team.
LAG more. I feel like Florida's looks a lot different right now on paper.
Florida's new.
LAG, I'll give you that.
Same thing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You got Vivid and you got ASIM now that are kind of riding the bench, sitting on the sidelines. You got teams like Boston Breach, right? Like, well, you see ASIM and Vivid maybe making a move for some of these other teams, or what? I mean, Boston's one of those teams where I feel like their subs have been very up and down, but I mean, Vivid and ASIM have gone through those same issues as well, so it doesn't even fix anything.
Problem with Boston is, like, who do you even drop? I feel like you could drop any one of them right now, and it's like, it's a good move almost. Like, there's not like a guaranteed roster change I want to make on that Boston team. All of them are playing bad.
Yeah, but that was the same case for LAG.
And also, you
just have to do something. You know what I'm saying, Pat? You just have to do something and just hope it 100%. Works.
They need to do something.
In terms of like seeing them turn it around. I just don't see them turning it around, because
I don't see a lot of these teams turning it around, to be honest.
They definitely need to do something, and if they don't do something going into the last split, I'd be kind of worried for them going forward. But at the same time, we've already heard
loves their team. They love their roster.
They want to see Doug. They want to see Doug in there. Can you imagine Doug getting in the Boston team? He might pop off, bro.
We've already seen Zinni basically come on the show, or even just in stream, and say, "Oh, my teammates are gross" and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I get it. Better. Like,
I get it. There's a certain there's a certain aspect of loyalty that goes on to the team, but like, it's clearly not working. They've been struggling to an insane degree, and I don't think doing nothing is the right play. I think it might come back to bite them in the ass.
Zin is a genius, bro. Zin is a genius.
Why? Why
do you say that?
Bro, made the Boston team, only had subs on the roster, no ARs, signed the coach as the sub player. And
he made sure he was secure.
They're all gross. I love all my teammates. I love all of them.
He can't get dropped. He can't get dropped.
I mean, to be fair, Zinni wouldn't be the one to go on that team anyway.
I don't think he would either.
Yeah, he's been good for them. But go ahead, Chris.
The other one that makes zero sense is the Paris situation.
Yeah, they're making changes now. Why is Paris making changes now?
And I feel like, no bullshit, I feel like they're picking up the worst possible player they could of the available challenger players.
Wait, who are they picking up? Johnny? Isn't it Johnny?
That's the rumor.
I thought Johnny was good. I thought he was good, this guy.
Apparently Johnny is nasty online, but
on come on,
bro. Doug let me know that Johnny was a hard 0.5. Doug doesn't throw hard 0.5s like, out that often, right? When you're explaining someone's event status.
Well, but, maybe Doug is just talking shit. Maybe Doug's just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, I thought that Johnny was one of the better challenger players.
But people got back from the event and were like, "Yo, we're gonna need a monitor cam and a
that's crazy." People actually thought he was cheating. People actually thought he was cheating.
Was so different online to LAN. So
that's crazy.
I don't know. Either way, the Paris roster, this roster change is just like, why? Like, they should be more focused on facilitating moves for their players that have opportunities to go to other teams than just randomly making a change for an unknown 18-year-old to do it, because they can't qualify for anything. They can't make any progress. So it's just
I feel bad for some challenger players that, especially that have like been in the league and stuff like that, because like there's just so much people are just I mean, Paris is already screwed, but people are just throwing darts and hoping it fucking like hits a bullseye, bro.
Because they're throwing darts in the dark,
bro. Because there's so many other options, bro. People are just gonna say, "Hey, man, fuck it, let's get this guy." Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot. I think there's probably a lot better players that have like played better on LAN. I think they could have even gone with like people that were like for example, like, well, actually, no, they probably wouldn't have signed to Paris. Now I think about it, they do have options, but would any of them have joined Paris?
You know what? I just don't get it. Why now? You have all year. Your team's struggling all year. You don't want to do anything with it. And then at the very end, when they're already chalked, they have like 20 points. They go, one more event to play with. Now they want to, what? Now they want to give a back. Now they want to give some money out.
At least their comms don't have to change all that much. They're just going from John to Johnny. So it's not like they got to adjust their comms
John to
Johnny.
Yeah, they're picking up the same guy, basically.
Just add a Y on
you know?
call out.
Honestly, bro, free Donnie, bro. free time, please.
Free Donnie. Free this guy. This guy needs to be freed. And one player we haven't really talked about much, we kind of blew by a little bit in the LAG situation, but Gunless too. I feel bad for Gunless because I see somebody talking about it in the chat, like we didn't talk about Gunless, and he's right, we didn't. Gunless is one of those players. I just feel like, bro, you want to talk about unfortunate situations, you got to talk about Gunless, dude. This guy, literally, beginning of the year, I think even past it statistically, probably their best player statistically.
Yeah.
But you know, as the year goes on, a lot of ups and downs. He gets sick. He ends up coming back from the sickness. His whole team is all over the place, and next thing you know, he's back on the bench, and you know he's just having a rough year.
Sense.
He's just having a rough one.
Into a team that was already down in the dumps.
Yeah,
right?
They were chalked. So Big P came into a team that couldn't win a series.
Yeah, him getting re-dropped for Spart, to me, just, I mean, same thing, bro. Just makes no sense.
Yeah,
I don't see what the
he's just got in a very unfortunate situation. But honestly, I know it sucks, but I wouldn't be too upset. Like if I were him, I wouldn't be too upset right now because I still think people are going to think very highly of him. And he just needs to, like, I don't really know the situation, but just heal up and make sure that he's all good for next year because he just got dealt a bad hand, bro.
This is like his third year in a row, right? Getting dealt a bad hand, no?
Yeah, he's very unlucky. He has to deal with a lot of stupid shit.
What was his last team?
But he's also, I feel like some of the bridges that might have been burned might have been on him too, right? Like with some teams, like I don't really know, like trying to remember everything. Seattle was the other team he was on, by the way. So everybody's putting in the chat, Seattle.
What team was he on? Was he on Seattle both years?
He was on the Huntsman in MW.
Oh, Huntsman, yeah.
He was on the Huntsman. He was playing with those guys. And he had a fallout over there with some of those guys. He have some problems with Envoy. Weren't they? I don't know. I could have sworn that he had some problems over there. I really don't know. It's very important, man, that if you're a professional player, that you get along with your teammates, man. You got to work as a unit. You got to work as a team. If you can't work with other people, you're going to end up burning too many bridges, or people are not going to want to play with you, and the word's going to get around, and bada bing, bada boom, 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 you're done.
To be fair, Tom, to that point, because I agree with you, especially in the league now and how it's ran. But we see the situations with Crim, right? Like, Crim is a lot like, there's a handful of players I can name that are like Crim in this regard, but it's like players like that can only team with certain amount of people or certain people.
Players that know them and won't be as soft about things.
You throw one person
Neptune
on that team who doesn't like the way Porter goes about things, and this goes for a lot of different players, right? Like I could be in that conversation as well. Clay's in that combo. There's just a lot of players where like if you don't understand it, let's use the Neptune case. Then it rubs you really the wrong way, and you think it's something that it's not, right? You look way more into it. So,
I
think it's a mindset thing. But I think Slasher and Pierce both are in that pool of players that it's just like all that matters to them is winning, and they don't care about the road to get there. Where I think nowadays, at least, there's a lot of players who are more concerned with that road to get there. Are they getting on and having a great time scrimming every day? Like, you know what I mean? Are there like I think Nikki D was like the one to start this. Like it was all vibey.
Yeah, but there needs to be a balance though too, Pat. You can't just have somebody on the team screaming and acting like an asshole unless he's dropping Michael fucking Jordan numbers. And I don't want to hear Michael. This is how Kobe acted. This is how Michael Jordan acted. Okay, well, are you dropping numbers like Michael fucking Jordan? Because I'm down.
I think it can go either way, Tom. I think like if that's required in a team, it can work, right? But like. Right. It's about the personnel you have, and I think there's just so many players now. Right. And I just think there's so many players now who think that way that didn't in the past, and I think that's why you're seeing like the amount of people that I think you're talking about on your stream. There's like a growing amount of people who don't want to play with Crim because that's what he's like, and I think that goes for a lot of the older players, right? Like we're talking about Slasher, Clay. But
the vets, the people that have the knowledge, those are the people who are going to be the most vocal.
The people that came up that way, right? Like that's how we came up, bro. Like it didn't matter. Like the argument that we had, even if it took an hour in scrims and wasn't productive, like if it resulted in us winning the next tournament, then it didn't matter. Like it literally didn't matter to any of us. Like we got over it. And I think the big difference is players nowadays, especially now that you're like on these, high paying salaries, right? Like you're just a lot more comfy. You want to get on and just have an enjoyable day, right? Like and I don't necessarily think players are content, but I think players are more content to be not first, right? As long as they're having a good time day to day.
Yeah.
Also a product of the game, bro. It's just like that whole like.
Yeah, we talked about that. Vanguard is just ass cheeks.
It's hard. It's hard to just like be super meticulous about like every single situation and thing in the game to the point where like it's just very hard to get that stuff across to teammates. And I think that especially if you come across as like arrogant, it's going to rub people the wrong way, especially if you're not playing well individually. For example, like Crimsix's statistics are not very good right now. So when he comes across as like arrogant, like thinks he knows everything, when in my opinion, Crim is a very smart player in a game like this, where a lot of the stuff you just kind of throw out the window. It's not going to look good when you're not playing well, and it's going to make people, what's the word I'm looking for? Like almost just like resent you
in a way. Down their opinion
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're the one coming off that way, and like you said, Crim's
Not playing
situation
well.
having poor stats.
Well, I mean, personality is a big thing too. You need to know the personalities on your team as well, because everybody's different in every way. But you can't have anybody extremely soft on the team. Like if somebody doesn't want to hear any criticism at all, if he's yelled at and just completely shuts down, then that's going to become a problem. You're going to have to, do something about it, right? Like Lamar's in the chat. Lamar used to scream at me all day. I didn't like it all the time. Sometimes I fucking hated it. We used to go back and forth. But at least Lamar was passionate. At least he gave a fuck. At least he cared. At least he really wanted to win. And that was something I always thought about eventually. You go lay down, he's like, well, at least he gives a fuck. At least my teammate cares. It's better than being on a team where somebody doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, dude.
That sucks.
I had that example back in the day, bro. Like, if I'm yelling at you about something, it's literally because I care, right?
Right.
If I'm not saying anything, bro, I'm checked, right? Like I'm literally checked out. So on a team page, like you should care more if your teammate is yelling at you wanting to fix a problem than if they're just like, whatever, we'll see what happens tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like
you just can't overdo it though. Like you can't nitpick.
Yeah.
You can't just call out every little thing, because you want people to be themselves. You want people to play themselves, be confident, be comfortable. If you just yell at somebody over and over and over again for every little thing they're doing, I don't
really think that's happening though. I think people are stretching it a little bit, because like
100%,
bro. Like
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's people who are dragging it. For
in my
sure.
entire career where I just had a yelling argument with someone over some small insignificant play. Like,
I've had them.
Yeah,
most of the
was a
time they were, like,
psychopath.
things that mattered, like
I think I was like that too, Chris, when I was young, like 18, 19, 20. I was fucking nuts. And then I definitely calmed down as the years went on. But
I used to tell people about this when I was still playing in Challengers, that I think a trip to Challengers for certain players, if they actually tried and took it serious, right, would be almost like eye-opening. It'd be kind of like life-changing in a sense where like it'll really test your patience more so than the pro scene. And it'll make you a better player and a better leader. I literally said this to a couple people that were like me, right? Like I'm not going to compare my fucking accolades to players like Crimsix and Clayster or even like Aches, for example, but like I'm very much like them in terms of how I like to kind of view the game. And we're all from the same generation, right? We have the same style of leadership and stuff like that. But I think being in Challengers and stuff like that really teaches you patience, and it teaches you how to communicate with people because you're in so many different environments all at once. And I think players like Crimsix, even though that's never going to happen, could have benefited from like, being humbled a bit like that, to the point where they had to team with, less talented players for prolonged periods of time. Because for Crim, for example, he's been on teams with some of the best players in the world, like every year for most of his career, where he's not used to kind of being in these adverse situations that might drive away, certain players that
I played
might look at him differently.
For 1 month. For 1 month in Cold War, just to give it a try. I think I had 17 different teammates, and I had a different team each week, and I was checked, bro. There was no shot I was doing
you're
that.
checked.
Because, bro, it's not about the talent, right? Everyone shoots straight in COD for the most part. It's not about the talent. It's literally just about the mentality that that players have there
Mm-hmm.
versus like the players that you're used to playing with in like the upper
everybody don't be
echelon.
shooting straight,
See,
bro.
Yeah,
Fuck
like,
no.
dude,
People be
when
shooting ziggies. People be moving
you
like
know what I
hamsters.
mean, you know what I mean? For the most part.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
It's just witnessing that and like not having the energy to like, because why break down something with a player that is literally you're not even gonna play with next weekend in the next cup or whatever it is. Like you can't make progress as a team in challenges. It's so individual focused.
It's so hard.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, Pat.
And you don't have the same team, Chris. Even you, bro. I swear to, how many teammates did you have in challengers in Cold War?
Oh no, there was times where it was roulette, where I was definitely going through the ringer and stuff like that. But then I ended up finding people that were somewhat like-minded for a while. That's what I'm saying. Like if you take it seriously and you are a person that's very passionate about what you're doing and you want to succeed so bad, it tests your patience beyond belief. You can attest to this, right? Where like one day your team was certain people and like, oh fuck, I gotta find a new teammate and stuff like that. There would be points in my challenger career, Pat, where I made strats. I went over strats for hours for a tournament, for a cup, because you know how they have them every weekend. You remember this? For a cup the day before, only to play that cup and then break up the next day while I sat there and taught hours and hours of strats and stuff like that.
Time, bro.
It's wasted time, yes, but I'm saying it teaches you patience and how to be a better teammate and a leader, because you literally you just get, your patience gets tested beyond belief, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm just sitting there angry the entire time, but I kept a cool head most of the time.
I'm still mind blown. Clay is still playing, like, because
you gotta kind of respect him for that, bro. The fact that Clay's still in there, just grinding away.
How many teammates has he had? He's
going through it.
1 month, and he's had 16 different teammates.
Bro, you go to sleep and wake up, but you gotta look at your phone to make sure nothing hit the fan while you went to bed, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
you gotta make sure everything's okay, dude.
I would tell people this, if they really cared and wanted to succeed so bad, even in challengers, there was like 2-3 players from the pro league that could, quote unquote, and I'm gonna put myself on a pedestal here, at least in challengers, do what I did in challengers and have that sort of resilience. And Clay was one of them. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all of his career. I'm not saying he's fucked. I'm not saying that he might retire, but I think Clay can easily go into challengers, help lead and nurture some of these talents and prove that he is just as talented, because he's disgusting. I see a lot of myself in him. He was one of my rivals and I look up to him to an extent. He's one of my better friends in the community, but I think I respect the fuck out of him, man. He's got a lot of passion. I think he, again, got dealt a bad hand. Pat, I know you definitely look up to Clay in terms of like his skill. I think he's a very talented player. I mean, we're all
the problem with every player is it's not their talent. Like it literally never comes down to their actual talent. Like there's so many teams and players where you can literally just say this literally has nothing to do with their actual talent. It's just like a shitty circumstance, a shitty situation, a shitty team environment. Like there's so many other factors where it's literally just talent does not matter. But yeah, I mean, I like I said, I think it's typical doing what Clay's doing, but to me, I think this is like a fuse that's running out. Like once it hits the off season, and if there
offers
is an
aren't coming in,
I don't. There's no way Clay does this for another year.
Nah, he's done after this year. At the end of the year, if he can't get on the franchise, he's gonna call.
If he does and like keeps doing content with streaming and stuff like that, then props to him, bro. But like, bro, I was so
be right next to us on the flank.
I was doing it so delusional for like 2-3 years. Like that shit was the worst like years of my life.
Yeah, and Clay even said that, and I do want to move on because we've been kind of talking about this for a minute. But even Clay, he already said it. If he don't get on a team, he's out. He said it on stream. So we wish Clay the best of luck. Obviously, we'll see how that all goes with him. But Illy's back with Optic, and after this whole convo, we're gonna hop in and we're gonna get some of you guys in the Discord, and we're gonna allow some of you guys, some people in the chat, to get a chance to hop in the Discord with us and ask us some questions. Man, we'll take a few people and we'll see what you guys come up with. So excited to do that. But Illy back on Optic. Well, at least that's he's 100% back on Optic. They announced everything. They've been practicing with him. I was talking to Scump yesterday. I was talking to Seth yesterday. We were playing just like some party games and shit. And Seth was saying that as soon as they got right back in, they thought they were gonna need a few days to kind of get into it. But they said they came out firing. How you guys feel about Illy coming back into the lineup? I feel like it's a good time to get him back in there. He got one more major and the champs, the big one. I still think it sucks for him that he got to miss his home event, right? Like being in Toronto and being in Canada, being in his country. But what are you gonna do? It is what it is. He's right back in there now, and in my opinion, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Illy. I'm excited to see him get back in there and see what he can do. But what do you guys think, man? You think Optic's gonna be looking like themselves again, or what? Because they had ups and downs even with Illy, right? So, what do you guys think? We'll start with you, Pat.
I mean, I think they're still going to be Optic, right? Like, I think they're going to be a contender regardless, whether they have Illy or not. But I think coming with Illy back, I don't necessarily think they improve all that much, right? Like, I think they were almost just as good as a team with Prolu. But I do think, this will be good for them in terms of like their vibes and having their main guy back. My big question though is like when we looked at Major 1, we talked about how Illy and Dashy had like the performance of their career. And I think if that's not repeated, I don't think they can come in and win Major 4. I think they had a top 6 with Illy, and then obviously a top 6 with Prolu. So to me, I just think like if their control isn't on point where they're unfuckable in control. Right, we've seen it. Every series they lost the control in that series, and they've only had very few control losses. So, if their control is not unfuckable, which I think it's hard to maintain that level of dominance in that mode as the game, as it goes on, then I still think they're going to be like, a potential fall off in that top 6 range. So, we'll see. I just my biggest concern right now is just hoping that like. Obviously, I don't know the details of his injury and what his surgery or whatever he did to get it fixed. But I'm kind of cautious that there's still 2 months until champs, and there's always the potential for a flare up to happen again. So we'll just have to see what occurs. Hopefully it doesn't. Right? Like
hopefully that's not the case.
As a player and a person, I wish the best for him, but I do think that is something that we should keep in mind that there's always a chance that he doesn't last this whole 2 months.
Yeah, but they still got Prolu on the bench. I know they gave him a contract. So what do you think, Chris? What do you think about all this?
I think they'll definitely improve, and their ceiling is a lot higher, obviously, with Illy, just because we've all seen that Illy can be a disgusting player, and he had that series in the major they won. That's literally why they were beating FaZe, is because he was playing out of his mind. Which is pretty rare, at least for Illy, in terms of like being a superstar performer. Illy's usually not that role on the team. That's left to Dashy, Scump, and Shotzzy. But I do think their ceiling is higher. Am I going to go out of my way and say they're going to win the next major? No, but at the same time,
we don't know who the fuck's winning that shit.
Yeah, we don't know. We never fucking know.
It's Atlanta FaZe.
We never fucking know.
Maybe,
but their potential is definitely higher with Illy. It's just going to come down to if they can break out of this top 6 stint they've been in, because they placed top 6 with Illy at Major 2. They placed shitty at the Pro-Am. Then they placed top 6 with Prolu. So
ups and downs.
Their floor, I think right now at LAN tournaments, besides the first major, they're playing at their floor. I don't think I'll ever see them placing top 8. But I think they're playing to their lowest potential on LAN, and I don't know why that is, because even with Illy, they still managed to hit that floor.
Yeah.
Like what is holding them back from why is it that they're having these dominant online performances and then going to the event?
The Shotzzy diff, bro. I don't know if you guys saw. It was posted somewhere. I think it was Breaking Point that actually tweeted it out, but like the S&D KD difference is really high. The control KD difference is pretty significant, and the hard point is there as well. So they're obviously, Shotzzy's their best player. Obviously, probably the most efficient player in the entire game right now.
Good guess.
I think the reason that they're so dominant online is just because he's unfuckable online. Like, he's literally unfuckable. But if they go to LAN and he doesn't have those unfuckable series, then I like I said, I think they're beatable. I think they're very beatable.
I think Illy is going to help that, in my personal opinion. I think Illy going to LAN is going to help him.
Year-long.
I mean, it could. Like, they right now with Illy, they had 2 events, and right now they hit their ceiling once.
Yeah.
With Illy, and then they hit their floor.
Yeah.
So to me, we just don't know. Like,
No, we don't.
It's just
We don't know.
it almost feels like a 50-50 in terms of how well they're going to play as a team on LAN.
Yeah.
Online with Illy, they're probably going undefeated again. Like
Yeah,
they're probably gonna go undefeated again. These guys are disgusting.
I could see them
in
having
their
a dominant
every
stage for sure.
They always do. Like that's the consistent thing about this team. If you're an Optic fan, you see them performing in the qualifier, they're probably gonna fry.
That's why when you look at the standings, Chris, like their map win-loss ratio is so dominant compared to every other team because their online qualifiers like are just undefeated. Like most of their wins are 3-0s. If they lose, it's like a game 5.
Yeah.
I think that's why they dominate. That's why they dominate their online qualifiers. But
my back is itching.
Oh, is that what you were doing? I was like, bro, are you good? I was like, I thought you were like cracking your back or some shit. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Yeah, we got a tweet coming in from the flank. I know this isn't a flank screen, but we'll switch on over to this scene real quick. I don't know if this is like true or not, but Yeast tweeted out, no matter what happens, I'm gonna do me and grind in silence. I was made for this shit. And then Awakening came in and said, no, you weren't. So I don't know if this is like banter. Like, I don't know exactly what this is. Is that banter? Is that like real? Is that?
I don't know, but that is disrespectful.
I can't tell if that's good.
You wouldn't delete it, right?
Wait, hold on.
Did he delete it? I can't tell if Gersh is like.
It said it was deleted in that screenshot.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if Gersh like actually just like found an old tweet from Awakening to Yeast saying no, you weren't. He put 2 and 2 together to make it seem like a meme, or if this is like real.
An actual tweet.
Oh, it's an actual tweet. Okay, so Gersh said actual tweet.
Also, even if that was banter, that is disrespectful as fuck. You don't say that.
Disrespectful as fuck.
You don't say that to your. You don't say that to your own substitute.
Shit.
Chris, this goes back to the point, bro. These teams have no respect for their subs. Zero.
Nah, they actually don't, bro. Holy.
Zero respect, bro. Think about it. They definitely don't get to play. Like it's just a required thing to sign. There's just zero respect, bro.
Bro, they signed him as a sub. They didn't fucking put him on the roster while they've been looking for a fourth this entire time.
Yeah.
And then they just roasted him publicly on social media.
Damn. Being a substitute is not it, bro. It's just not. But hey, listen, I feel like, you know what it is too? And some people use their substitute spots for like brand shit or like clout. You know what I'm saying? Didn't Florida picked up Maniac?
Yeah,
they picked up Maniac, bro, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I mean, fuck it, bro. I would have loved to see Maniac to Nicola, right? Just get Nick in there one of these games, just throw him in there and see what he could do. That would be hilarious. But listen, I'm excited to see Illy back. I definitely think he's gonna, get the gang back. I definitely think Illy's presence was just needed. Just that mindset that he has, that vocalness, that passion, everything that he just brings to a team, I think is something that Optic was feeding off of. And I'm excited to have Illy come back and see what the guy can do, man. So shout out to Illy, shout out to all the Optic guys. Excited to see them back. But listen, let's get into some community questions, man. I'm gonna have Chandler and Vals and everybody in the Discord start dragging people in one by one. We'll take a few questions. Not really too sure what we're gonna be hit with here, Pat and Chris. I don't really know.
Are they putting their cam on?
If they want to put cams on, they are more than free to put their cams on. But Chandler, Vals, bring in the first guy. Drag him in here. Hello. Who goes there? Lego, what's up?
What's up?
What's going on, Lego? Welcome to the flank.
What's up, man?
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. What's your question, man?
My question is, what is the likelihood of an expansion?
Likelihood
0%.
Zero. Do you guys actually think it's 0% for real? Like you actually think?
Bro,
I'm not going 0%, bro. I'll go 50-50, bro. I'll go 50-50, Lego.
You're way too positive.
You
man.
think so?
I think there's a likelihood that another group will purchase a current spot, but in terms of actual expansion, I think it's 0%.
Listen, I might not know anything about business, but like from a investor's point,
you're like, fuck no. Yeah,
what is selling me about this
true.
league, bro? Like everything about it, the way players talk about it, even the people that are in the league, the perception of it is just fucking terrible.
Well, that can always go down to, so Lego, the thing is, right, it's a lot of money for a franchise spot.
Of course.
Millions, $25 million, whatever, everybody knows. I don't think they pay it all at once. But I do think as years go on, they're going to lower that number. And I think they've already done it for Overwatch. I believe they did it for Overwatch already, where if you want to get into buy into the Overwatch League, like some of the teams.
They literally had to.
They had to, right. And COD's going to do the same thing, I think. I think eventually they're going to lower the spots. They're going to lower the number and we'll get more spots.
About to be free. Hey,
Let me-
yo, we need y'all. Get in here. Free.
$10
Free of charge.
for a franchise spot, you know. But yeah, to answer your question, Logo, we have no fucking idea, bro. Like we actually have no clue. But we would all hope for expansion, right? I mean, that's something that we would all want. But at this point in time, we have no idea, brother.
Zero.
Yeah, but that's it. But I do appreciate you coming on and asking a question, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for showing love.
I want to add. I think it's going to be even more interesting to see, right? Like, because this is the first time we're going to be on a 2-year cycle of one game, right? So, maybe if there is an interested party, like I would wait to see how the first year goes, right? Because like you're on the same game.
Who the
for
fuck
2
is
years.
that?
Who the fuck is this guy? No, just kidding. What's up, bro?
What's up, guys?
How you doing? Hey, I like that you got the webcam on. Thank you for tossing the webcam up.
Yeah,
Hell
I had to ask
dude.
permission first, but I wanted to make sure.
Nah,
that it was
you're
all
good, bro. Your room is looking like a vibe. What is that? We got a Huntsman flag back there.
We
Boston
got
Red
a
Sox.
Huntsman, we have an Optic, we have Boston Red Sox, Sentinels. My face jersey's in the closet.
Oh, you got a face jersey? Lit.
I got a bunch of stuff.
Oh, that's
Optic and a
dope.
face fan. That's new.
I'm a COD fan.
I
I
like
don't really
that, bro.
care. As long as it's a good
I like
match,
that.
that's what I like to
that.
see.
Listen, man,
like
Face and
you.
Optic come together. We did a collab. We did a Face Optic collab.
A rare breed. A rare
A
breed.
rare breed. Oh, trust me.
Hey, what's up, bro? Thank you for coming on the flank, man.
Thank you for having me. First things
sir.
first. Love all you guys, of course. You know,
Thank you, man.
I'm here always. Tommy, I want to say real quick too. Like, I want to thank you for anything you anything and everything you do.
Thank you, bro.
You
I
saved my
appreciate
life
it, man.
multiple times, and that's why I'm always in here.
Oh, dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you for showing love and supporting, and just thank you for coming on, man. It means a lot, bro. How you doing? You got any questions? Yeah, drop some W. Hey, it's a pleasure having you, bro. Pleasure.
Of course, thank you. So my question is, it got announced recently that USS Texas is obviously being added to the game.
Jesus.
Sigh, yes. But like, do you guys really think that it'll be added into the rotation, or is it gonna be kind of like trophies where it's already late in the game? It's too late.
That's a good question.
And like, there's another part. And if it does get added in, what teams do you think benefit? Because we all know that every team, like, there's good S&D teams, but most teams have that one map that they can rely on.
Every team that has a godlike sniper, if that
Sniper,
map gets put in, it will be good. Like Dashy, literally just
yeah, he'll have a field day on that shit.
Be trick shotting the entire map.
Yeah, I agree. Snipers are really big on USS Texas, so any team that can just dominate just the lanes and just kind of hold those lanes off will be good.
Wait a minute.
In World War II, it got to a point where any team who didn't have a sniper had to veto that
Wait,
map.
USS Texas with no smokes, map chalked.
I mean,
No smokes?
Oh,
yeah,
that's true.
it
Never
might
mind.
be talk. And if you want my honest opinion, I mean, do you guys think it's going to be added into the rotation? Because that was his first question.
Nah,
I don't
not-
think it
not-
is.
Not with no. Just like what Chris said, without
Yeah.
without smokes, there's no way.
No
There's no way
shot,
to get
bro.
a bomb down without smokes on that map.
And JC, that's the problem, right? Who the fuck wanted USS Texas? Who the fuck wanted
No one.
that? Nobody wanted that.
Give me London Docks.
Yeah,
give me
London,
London
and
Docks.
that's what everybody asked for. Everybody asked for London Docks, and we didn't get it. It was like
Even Saint Marie could be solid.
yeah, St. Marie would be
Yeah,
solid.
bro.
Anything but USS Texas.
Bro, I
It
would've
was the
taken
worst map
Gibraltar,
ever.
bro. I
Bro,
would
they
have taken
picked the worst
Gibraltar,
map.
no bullshit. USS
Yeah,
Texas?
they messed up on that one for sure. Like,
I love Gibraltar.
yeah,
I did. Yeah, I didn't lose that one at chance. Didn't lose that one.
yeah, bro. But yo, JC, I appreciate you coming on and asking a question, man. And thank you so much for all the kind words and all the positivity, man. It goes a long way for me. So just thank you so much for the support, bro. I appreciate you.
Nice meeting you,
One
man.
last thing.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Everyone follow the flank on Twitter.
Yes, sir.
Everyone
Go follow the
Flink
Flink on Twitter right now. Go follow the
WWW.
Flink on Twitter right now. JC said so. Get a WC in
Later,
the chat,
dude.
JC. Thank you
Take
for the
it
love,
easy,
man.
bro.
All right, later. You guys have a great night.
Yes, sir. You too, brother. Hell yeah, man. Shout out to my man JC. Who do we got next? Who do we got over here? We got Mr. Chris Foolish himself. What's up, Chris?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Hey, doing pretty good, man. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the Flank. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Just college stuff, summer stuff.
Oh, man. Yeah, college stuff. Been there, done that. I feel that. But luckily, it's summertime now. Are you done with classes now? You done now?
I am, but I'm taking summer
Oh,
classes.
you're taking summer. Damn, fuck. Hey, my bad, Chris. Hey, that's the worst, bro. But you'll get through it, dude. What's up, man? You got a question for us or what?
Yeah. First off, by the way, you guys are goats.
Thank you,
Love
man.
all you guys.
Appreciate it, man.
But my question is, I'm a Boss fan, and State Street was kind of like a disappointment as a fan, seeing everything how it went down. We're right there on the cusp of not making champs, and I was just wondering, maybe a change such as ASIM possibly going to Boston might help that team out. Maybe Nero, even I don't think Caps will more of like a Nero kind of out, and ASIM going towards there. How do you guys think that would pan out.
Yeah, I mean,
I personally
we
think
talked
Nero
about this a
stays.
little bit. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit already on the show. But like Pat, I think you said it. You don't even think that will even do like one change won't even do anything, or you don't even know who to change.
Yeah,
That's what
I
you
don't know
said.
who to change, but I would say to that point, like I do think this team could benefit from just having a little bit of breath of fresh air, right? I don't know who that player would be. Obviously, it's probably not going to be Zinni, but you know, if they did make that decision to replace someone between TJ, Cap, and Nero, I do think they would benefit from just a breath of fresh air because I feel like, yeah, they're on the cusp of not qualifying, and like to me, I don't think they could make a change to get worse, even if it's a lateral move, right? Skill wise, I think they could still benefit from just having a new guy, new energy, and going like that. I do think though, I don't think it'll happen. I think Vivid is someone that Boston team could benefit from. We talk about their pace sometimes.
That is true. I feel like Vivid is just like when you match him up. But who would you get rid of though, Cap or
I
Nero?
have no idea. I have no
You know what I'm
idea.
saying?
I don't
It's
know.
like
I don't know, but I think in my opinion, probably Cap. I think Nero's probably a lot more impactful in their respawns, which is the game mode they've been kind of struggling in my opinion. And I think Vivid could complement Nero's playstyle because both of them are massively aggressive.
Yeah.
So, like Pat said, I don't think they get worse. Like anyway.
Well,
Yeah, there's no shot they get.
What do you think, Chris? Would you like to, as a Boston fan, would you like to see a change with the team? Would you like to see Asem get into the roster or what?
I mean, the team itself, stage 2 is kind of like that T3 that was like, wow, we can actually probably do something here.
Right.
Especially if all of them are super consistent. But it just seems like if Zinni's not doing something, they really don't really do anything at all. Cap is super inconsistent. Nero gets those engagements, yeah, but like he really hasn't like a pop off game yet.
Yeah, he goes rogue. He goes rogue too much. I think Capsule and Nero's biggest problem right now is just they just go too rogue. They're too rogue sometimes. They don't think. They just run.
They're not going rogue together.
I think too that team was conditioned early on to where you could do that if Zinni had a 1.5, right? Like as soon as that goes away, them going rogue gets far more punishing when Zinni's not getting every kill that he sees. So I think for this team to do well without changing, I think, Chris, yeah, what you said, they have to go rogue together and play more together in general. But I really think it relies on Zinni. Like, it's a lot of pressure on him, and, you know, I don't know if he can do it, but if he does step up to being at least half of how good he played in the beginning half of this year, I could see them making a run to at least for sure qualify for champs since they're in an okay position right now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, bro. But Chris, I appreciate you coming on and asking a question, man. And I wish you and your Boston team the best of luck. They're gonna need it. You know, they're gonna need a little bit of luck here because it is getting close, like you said. So,
I'm sorry about yesterday. If you're a Boston sports fan.
Yeah, unlucky about yesterday. The Celtics, it's not looking too good over there in Boston, bro.
I'm from Jersey, so I hate Boston.
Oh, there you go. Where from Jersey from?
Right outside New York City, Montclair.
Oh, Montclair. Oh, I went to school, Montclair State University. You know where that is?
I live 2 minutes down the road from it.
Well, that's where I was, bro. I went there for 2 years. About 2 years I was doing over there. And then, you know, the Go Gaming thing dropped out. You know, the whole other story. I was checked out. But yo, bro, Chris, thank you so much for tuning in, man, and asking a question, bro. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. Later, bro.
Take it easy.
All right, let's take in. We're gonna take a couple more, 2 or 3 more, and then we'll call it, bro. Shout out to the Jersey boy. What the? This guy's picture, bro. Hey, Dad at Life. What's up, Dad at Life? What's up, bro? What's going on, man?
I'm good, guys. Like, it's near to 5 a.m. here in the EU.
Oh, you're in the EU. Wait, where are you right now?
I'm in the Netherlands. So.
Oh, you're in Netherlands. Oh, wow. So you're up just super late. Holy shit. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in.
Smoking some stuff.
Oh, you've been smoking some shit.
Yeah, it's legal here, so I'm good.
Hey, bro, you're good. Smoke up, bro. Do what you gotta do. You know, a little Pine Park never hurt anybody. How you doing, bro? Thank you so much for coming on, and I'm sorry that it's late for you, man. I appreciate you tuning in at such a late time. But how you doing, man? You got any questions for us or what?
Yeah, exactly. And don't worry, dude. I would stay up even longer for this opportunity. So
hell yeah, dude.
My question would be like, now Scump has been like kind of teasing his retirement, basically. Like if the next card is shit or if it's not, and whatever. So my question would be like, in your guys' opinion, which like COD Pro would be his replacement in the best case?
Right,
Shotzi.
like the face of everything, right? Like the
Yeah,
like the face of
basically.
everything. I mean, it would have to be Shotzi. It would have
Yeah,
to be.
sure, but like on the team roster as well, like which SMG, like would you go like Paco, but he's EU and he has
Oh.
an accent, so he's not like viable maybe for the Optic brand as much.
Right. So
Oh, so
you're
you're
saying
talking about
who's gonna come in and take Seth's spot is what you're saying. Who's gonna take his spot and be that guy? Is that
Yeah,
what you're
basically.
saying? Okay.
Yeah, next to Shotzi.
Bro, low key Hydra on that team is not a bad shout, bro. Hydra, Shotzi, Illy, and Dashy. I mean, I don't think Paco's that bad of a shout for that team. But go ahead, Pat.
I think to me, if Optic really want to continue right this dominance in COD esports, they need to, when Seth retires, they need to split up the Tiny Terrors. I think that would be the move to make. It'd be an expensive move to make.
Kill two
without
birds with one
question.
stone.
Right, yeah, it would be a very expensive move to make, but I think that is the move to make. I think that would set them up for success for the rest of the CDL future, whatever it is. I think you could go right with either one. I'd probably go Simp just because they already have Shotzi, but
What if they couldn't get either of them, and they had to go outside of, let's say, FaZe?
Paco.
Yeah, right.
I feel like Paco's a pretty good shout, or Hook. But a lot of people want to see XEO back. Like I could see maybe Hook. Just anybody that can vibe with those guys and keep up with their pace. I don't see it being Hook. People are saying Envoy. A lot of people are saying Envoy in the chat. Envoy's a good shot. I mean, realistically, man, there's so many different options. They can even go like Kleenex, right? Like they could do a Kleenex type of
no matter
round.
which route they go, it's going to be an expensive route.
It's
right?
gonna be an
Like,
expensive
it's gonna be really
route.
hard for them to get any of those players.
Yeah, if Optic comes knocking at your door, cha-ching.
Yeah, cha-ching, and everybody entertains it too. Everybody, you
100%.
can't not entertain the offer. You have to, and if Optic comes to you with an offer, you have to sit back and be like, okay, let me think about this. Do I want to sketch here? Do I want to leave on my team or what? But hey,
I
good.
have one. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Well, you got the floor, bro. Go ahead.
Okay. I have one suggestion on like maybe
Okay.
player who would fit out of the blue. Like, how about Kenny? Because like Optic is obviously all about like videos and stuff. Like,
Yeah, but
producing content.
I think winning is their priority. I think winning priority, content second. I think Kenny is just not gonna. I just don't see him working in terms of like mentality, play style, and just like who they are as people. I just don't know if they would mesh well together. So probably not. I'm pretty sure Kenny has some beef with some of those Optic guys as well. I don't know if they're kind of like rivals in a way, but they can always throw that aside and make up and team again. But I personally don't see it. But I mean, Pat, Chris, you guys see it? I don't see. I don't.
Kenny?
If
No.
this was 4
What are you
years ago,
smoking
I'd
over
pick
there?
up
What are you
Kenny.
smoking over there, Data Life? You smoking that good shit? What kind of you got? What kind of Pine Park you got over there, bro?
Nah, Pine Park doesn't deliver to Europe, so
We gotta talk to Hector, man. We gotta talk to Hector,
yeah,
bro.
but the local stuff is good stuff. So I get some lemon haze and I'm good.
All right, bro. Well, listen, man. I appreciate you coming on. You go rip that lemon haze and you get tucked into bed. All right, bro. You gotta go to sleep,
I will,
man.
man.
Hell yeah, bro.
Thank you so much, guys. Have
Thank
a
you,
good
brother.
one.
Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for coming on the flank, man. Have a good one. Peace out, bro. Hell yeah, dude. What's up, bro? Owie, you there? Hello? Oh, there he is. He's turning the webcam on. Owie, you there? What's up, bro? What's going on, man? You hear us? You good?
Yeah, I can hear you guys just fine.
What's up, bro? What's up, man? What's happening?
Not much, just chilling, waiting for the next stage to start because I got nothing better to do.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I like the jersey. I like the Ultra jersey. It looks good on you. Phenomenal. What's your question, man? You got a question for us or what?
My question is actually to Toronto. Where do you guys see Toronto in the rankings going into stage 4?
In the rankings, I got Toronto top 4, in my personal opinion. I feel like throughout the year, they had a lot of ups and downs, particularly in hardpoint. I feel like their hardpoint was definitely slacking a little bit. But now I feel like they kind of got that rhythm going in hardpoint, and they're kind of able to balance everything out a little bit better now. And I just feel like they're peaking at a good time. Right now, I have Toronto in the top 4, and I definitely think that home crowd and that energy at the last event got them into that mentality a little bit, and kind of got them back into that mindset. But Pat, Chris, what do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely top 4. I know Pat's riding high on them. He thinks they're going to win champs, but I mean, I definitely could see them, competing for championships. Like I said, like we said on the show, I would have loved to see them play against Seattle. They just can't beat FaZe in their current form. They couldn't beat them in Cold War. They can't beat them now. Their like record is really bad against FaZe, I'm pretty sure. But besides that, they look good versus everybody else. They look really good. And they've been trending upwards. So.
I got them top 3.
Who do you got? Who do you got above them and underneath them? Well, obviously, who do you got above them?
Well, Optic FaZe, Optic FaZe, FaZe Optic, FaZe Optic, FaZe.
You think they're better than Seattle?
Yeah, well, I think we answered this question last time. I think matchup wise, they're better than Seattle. I don't know about overall right now. I mean, you could go either way, but I think matchup wise, I think they match up against Seattle a lot better than other teams do. So I have them top 3. Obviously, I'm high on them going into champs. I don't think they'll win this major. It wouldn't surprise me if they did. But I do have them coming crazy at champs. So I got them top 3, and I think they're going to be a contender regardless. And I think they're going to make a long run at Major 4.
What about you? Where do you have them?
I have them top 4 as well. I think, especially after what they did at the last major. I mean, home crowd definitely helped them, and as Tommy said, they have had their problems in Heartbreak, but now that they've got those problems resolved, they look like their Cold War selves.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Where they can always be a contender to win events.
Yeah, and I feel like Ultra's one of those teams too, where just as a team, like as a unit, they have a good culture. They get along with each other really well. I just feel like that's a team that can click, and their teamwork is just going to be next level going into the end of the year. So
yeah, well, you know a team has good teamwork when the team literally re-up their contracts.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a lot of questions about whether some of those guys were going to get pulled or not, during the offseason. But they stuck together. They stuck together as a team, and here they are doing good business, bro. I appreciate you coming on, bro, and asking a question,
Thanks.
man.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Hell yeah, dude.
Love you guys keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much. We got a Wowie in the chat. Show him some love, man. Shout out to the man of the hour. What is this guy's got McLovey? That's his fucking avatar. What's going on?
Hey, yo, I didn't know Pat was in here twice.
Von the Harley, what's going on, bro?
Looks nothing like
what's up, man? So, like, Billy is like mad underrated. So my question is for X, because like everyone says X had a Mickey Mouse ring in the World War II. So X, if Illy was in the league in like World War II, like, do you think he still would have won or no?
If Illy was on EG.
No, if he was like in the league in World War II, would EG still have made like the Mickey Mouse run or no?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know, if you were able to watch much of the tournament, but I will run you through a quick recap of World War II champs. Came in, had a dicey group stage. Only had to lose one
match
against Optic to be out. 3-0'd them, sent them home per usual.
Damn.
Wouldn't have mattered who was on that roster. Same situation would have happened.
Did you guys go to Disneyland later to celebrate Mickey Mouse?
Gers, shut the fuck up, Gers. You more.
I can't do this shit anymore.
The 150K hit the bank account either way. So.
Bro, we're gonna.
That was a A4 map count, by the way.
Bro, why? You know what's funny? His accent changed, bro, to when he used to do. His accent completely changed, bro. But listen, Pat, you're a fucking animal, bro. Listen, you got the rings, you got the championships.
That reminds me, Tom. What's behind me?
Man, that looks like a $600,000 check, dude.
That's nice.
My God, bro. Jesus, man. But listen, guys, that's gonna do it for the flank today, man. I hope you guys enjoy. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, what do we got here? Are you hitting a putt? Yo, Magic Whip's out of fucking.
It's not the only one.
How the fuck? You got both checks? They gave you both of them? What the? I never got the checks.
Wait, you could get replicas of them.
What the? Can you actually? Wait, what?
You just asked, yeah.
Lying.
No, I swear to God.
But a replica is not the same as grabbing the one that you got on stage, bro. It's not the same. It's not the same. Listen, Pat, one of these days before we dip out, I think we got to bring Too Quick on. He was calling for your head, bro.
Well, Tom, we already went over this. We didn't go over it, but you saw the Reddit thread, right?
Which
Actually,
yeah,
yeah,
I saw I've seen a lot of Reddit threads. I've seen it.
Okay, I'll link it real quick for you, Tom.
Okay, go
it's in
ahead.
the Zoo Mafia community.
Okay, it's in the it's in the Zoo Mafia community.
No way Paz jorts on right now.
Link
gym shorts. Where's
link it.
Tom?
Link it in the I don't fucking know. Link it in. Send it to me on Twitter, bro. Just DM it to me or some shit. Or put it in the flank chat, the private chat. You see the flank private chat? Is there? Put it in there.
I put it in the flank DM.
Oh look, he literally there goes fucking Chandler. He said right here, boom, bada boom, boom, boom. Where'd you put it in the flank DM? You put it in the flank DM?
Oh wait. Yeah, I don't have access to the flank private chat.
Oh, you don't have
I
access?
Put it in the flank DM.
All right, bet. Then I'll just take it to the flank DM. What? Lee said leaked. Yeah, leaked. No, I don't got anything here to leak. But let's take a look at this Reddit thread and see what the hell Pat's talking about, bro. We'll switch over screens real quick. What the fuck?
I'll preface this.
What is this?
I love Aaron as a person, right? Great guy. This is not a personal opinion or a personal matter. This was strictly a business, purely statistical of what occurred in Black Ops 2 when we teamed up. Tom, so if you want to scroll down
there's more.
bit,
okay, let me switch back over. What am I looking for here, Pat?
You just find my name.
Oh, you typed in this shit.
No, this. Remember we went over this a couple days ago.
This is on. We did this on
stream. It wasn't a real flank. So yeah. Just you gotta click my name. You
where did I pass? Did I pass your name?
Right down a little bit. Right down. Right there. Right there.
Where? Am I fucking blind here, bro?
You saw it's got the pro player thing right there.
Oh, there it is. Boom.
Yeah.
I'm like fucking hate when people cap, so I'm here to fact check you since I got some time this morning. Elimination match for Pat, you want me to go through this whole fucking thing, Pat?
You don't gotta go through the map by map. Go to the very end.
All right, I'm at the end here, Pat.
Okay. At the Black Ops 2 total, right there. Total stats from Black Ops 2.
Had way too much time on his.
Yeah, bro. This guy wrote a doc.
Listen, I woke up a little early this morning before work. I saw this Reddit thread. This guy was coming crazy, so I had to correct him real quick.
Bro, you are fucking nuts.
Listen, I even sourced all my evidence, so everyone knows it wasn't cap. So Tom, if you scroll up just a tad,
okay,
just a
total
tad, so
series stats.
Yeah. So all matches at BO2, the entirety stats for our team.
Man, 1.09,
be a problem. That's with an SMG, by the way. With an SMG. Most kills at champs with a sub, by the way, is an SMG.
And then after the fact, you said double neg, huh? Also had a 1631 game and still had most kills in the series as an SMG.
That's just the series. I was talking about at the totality, the total BO2 champs all matches.
Underneath.
This was our complexity team total stats, right?
Right.
So obviously I was having my way, 519 kills. Krim doing his thing, AR 530, T doing his thing, even though he stopped shooting Big T in that game 5 round 11. I still love him. But then you had Too Quick.
361.
Yeah, so somehow he had 180 less kills than me, or whatever that comes out to be, 160 less kills. And also, I think 80 less deaths. Seems a lot like the Dave Patty comparison we were talking about when we were talking engagements.
Yeah.
And then Tom, if you bring it back up.
You want me to go back?
Yeah, just real quick.
No problem. Sure, Pat.
If you scroll down to the following year. The ghost one.
Okay.
So you see me, 562 kills. 1.35 with SMG, by the way.
Okay. Jesus
Christ. If you compare year to year, right? So I improved a little bit, right? Nothing crazy, just a little improvement. T, so basically same performance, improved a little bit.
Right.
Krim, same performance, improved a little bit. And then we had Damon this year, right? And finally, on par with our engagements. Yeah. Same amount of deaths as Too Quick, by the way. So the AR, right? The deaths, same amount, right? No different.
Right.
But 140 more kills, right? And you kind of You kind of see
Pat,
the difference.
Listen, Pat, a decade later, you still explaining this shit.
Well, it's just because of the Too Quick combo. Everybody wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, listen, they want to talk about it, but listen, you had to get
manually,
bro. Listen, I commend you for typing that all out because that is impressive, bro.
But I had to have my way with him real quick, and I sourced all my work in case he wanted to fact check me.
Source work.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know today was a little bit different with the whole setup and things. We wanted to bring people on today, so I just pulled up the Discord today, switched it up a little bit. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Please hit that sub button, man. We're close to 100K subs, so hit that sub button. Go to anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio stations we're on, and go to @theflank on Twitter. Make sure to go follow the Flank on Twitter. It's an absolute pleasure. Gert's doing a phenomenal job over there. Running socials, and as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank. Take care, brush your hair. Not sure when we're gonna be live next with the show, but just stay tuned. We got matches starting up in about a week, so we'll definitely be live for those. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out, man. Later, guys. Peace.
Maybe early, but never wrong. Yeah.